He has worked in several parts of India, most remote places. So I request you all present here to welcome our honorable expert speaker, Mr. Sankrapu Madhusan Rao, with your heart and warmness, and to request that he share his knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon to all participants. I'm lucky to participate in this meeting now. And I'm earlier, when I was in service also, I used to participate in these COVE meetings along with Mrs. Chandya Reddy madam. And I'm COVE is mentoring, guiding, and monitoring the women entrepreneurs for taking up challenge jobs. My experience I worked in Bharat Electronics Limited more than 38 years, and my interaction with the services is very, very experience. That experience is very good. Now, let me tell you my speech. I'll cover first what are the eligibility criteria we require to become a production agency for the defense companies, defense labs, and DPSUs. And second thing is, how do we do that? And what is the government is providing the different opportunities for defense production. Now coming into, can I have the PowerPoint this month? Now the first, yeah, thank you. That's it. Yeah, thank you. The first is the eligibility criteria of the MSMEs for defense production. What is the eligibility? Ms. Ringra sir had explained about the finance. I'm not going to touch the financial aspects of the requirements, but technical aspects, what we require is the MSME should be capable of handling state-of-art technology systems. What I mean is, when I want to interact with the DPSUs or DRDO labs as a vendor, my manpower should have enough knowledge to understand the requirement so that they can produce the systems. And in addition to that, we are going to compete with the imported systems which presently defense systems are services are having. So in that we should have a good knowledge in the technological knowledge. And for example, you take my experience, I again share with you. There are cell-operated bombs where bombs are get detonated with the operation of cell phones. Earlier there you might have read in the papers. Further, the one should know how cell get operated, what frequency it works, how bombs get activated by the cell phones. This is the technical knowledge of the vendor who is going to do to mute the cell phones if you are taking up that job. Such manpower should have a good knowledge in that particular field. Like the different fields will have different knowledges. And second thing is, your system should be maintainable and reliable. What is the maintenance? Maintenance means what I've seen, like you take army, it is spread all over the India. You take navy, it is all seashores, we have a ports. And air force, of course, sky is the limit. See, these things we have, our manpower may not be able to reach in time there, the requirement. So the customer must be able to maintain these systems. For that, we should give them like modular structures where we take one PCB and keep one more PCB and activate the system. If system fails, they must be able to troubleshoot immediately, maintain the system very effectively by them. Unless otherwise there is a major problem, we should not interfere with them. That is the maintainability aspects, and reliability of they must be confident to handle our systems. The other thing is, now present generation we have all software oriented systems. where we should have configuration maintenance for which platform will have what sort of software we are porting. What, like you people must be aware, you're all aware of the cell phones. We have 10S4, 10.5 iPhones, different types are there. Like that, we have different systems will have different software configurations. All codes should be maintained. Okay. The other one is having spares. We have two types of spares which are customer is looking into. One is short term, like replaceable. Then and there they must be able to replace the spares which we supply. And by doing that, they'll switch on the system once again and do that. And other things are the lifetime spares. We must be able to do that. If not, we must be able to do the equivalents at the end of the lifetime, or we must be able to upgrade the system. These are the requirements. And more than that, as a supplier, we should have a good after-sales service. This is very, very required. You all know that. A simple example, if a TV comes to your house, is not working, then you'll fire that fellow left and right. It is just some few thousands of the item, but services are for them. It's not the money, is a life for them. Is actually life at risk. So we must give them after sale service very effectively and very timely. That is the first thing. Coming to the second slide. Second slide, please. So what is basic requirements of MSME? Now I told you about the what services looking for from the MSMEs. But now I am going to tell you about what MSME should have. You should have an innovative thinking first. What is innovative thinking? Innovative thinking means you should be able to solve the problems, tough problems. With my experience, I will tell you one or two examples. So you must be able to understand that. We have when we are testing some PCBs, we have, they should work from -20 to +55 degrees. We put in chamber and we test in the lab. While testing at -10 degrees, the system stopped working. But at room temperature, it recovered. How do I troubleshoot it? Because I must be able to simulate a condition -10 degrees at the room in that lab. When it is in chamber, I can't open the temperature chamber and test the system, troubleshoot the system at -degrees. Only that at room temperature only I must be able to do. We were thinking and we are breaking our head for 2-3 days. We didn't know how to do. Our engineers were doing. It happened with my experience when I was leading the team. At that time, one of the MSME man, one of the supplier is a small vendor. He came and he was just watching us. He gave me an idea. So there is a solution available. If you spray on any item, it instantaneously reduces the temperature to some few degrees. He is not aware of how many degrees it reduces and all. He told me one spray-like thing. Then after that, we ventured for that and we traced the spray, and it was so useful to us. We used to spray at the room temperature on each component, and we could find out which component is misbehaving in the particular PCB, and we could replace that. Why I'm telling is this innovative thinking of that particular vendor is actually we didn't get that idea. He only told us. From that we derived, if it fails at the high temperature, we used to have hot air blower. That is another thing. And another innovative thinking I've seen from one supplier is, when submarine systems are there, when it goes to lower depths of the sea, the water pressure will be more on the ship. And all these communication systems will have all antenna on the outside the body. So the water pressure will be more on this antenna. So antenna should have waterproof cap-like thing, which will have radio power RF active, and same time environmentally it is protected, and it must be able to withstand the pressure. When you go to the lower depth of the sea, the water pressure will be very, very high on the system. So for that, one of the vendors who is a mechanical man, he proposed, and our mechanical engineers and DRDO labs, we experimented. We found that titanium is the best material to withstand that. And there are DRDO materials made by that vendor and given us. These are the type of innovative ideas we got. Like that, we must be able to think and do that. That's the best, one of the real requirement of a MSME. And you're all very smart people. You must be able to do in a better way. Okay. And second thing is knowledge and latest technologies that you all must be having, but you must be educating yourself regularly to do these things. And third point is you should have a strong quality policy. Why quality is required? This is, I'll tell you one more example. Quality is when a aircraft on Kutch runway, a fighter aircraft or any aircraft, will be facing that outside the belly, there will be an antenna for radar systems, and it will be working at plus 55 degrees. Within seconds, it goes to minus 20, minus 30 degrees when it goes to high altitude. So it must be able to withstand the change in temperature from plus 55 to minus 20 or minus 30. That is the quality of the system. It should be able to withstand that. So such things which must be able to design. These are all, I'm not scaring you by telling all these things. It is possible. There are defense labs. They are helping us to do all these experiments, and they've done all these things. They'll give us the TOT for such things, and we must be able to produce. But before that, we should understand why we are doing all these things. That is the quality aspect. And when we have people might have seen all warships, it will have antenna on the top of the mast. The mast is almost meters, a few meters away from the deck. On that, we have to sit and work. And same time, it will be facing thunderstorms, rains, all these things. But your antenna must be able to work in that condition also. For that, we should have ruggedized way of water arresting systems, and it must be able to transmit the radio signals. Such things, again, the quality comes into picture. Okay. Then if you go to our desert area for the army people, I'll just tell you an example. We have an army, when we transported, the antenna is ducked down to the body level. When the desert, we gone to, again, Rajasthan area, it is erected. And we used chain-like thing to erect the system. But our people didn't realize when there is a sandstorm, I mean, the chains were not working, people applied grease for that to have a better frictionless movement. At that time, we had a sandstorm. Then all sand got stuck to the grease. Then antennas retraction became a problem. So we didn't know what to do. Again, another MSME man. That man has given a very beautiful idea. He put a bellows around the mast. When he's erecting, it expands that bellow. And when it is retracting, it gets folded on its own. These are the ideas and quality maintained there. Okay. With all these things, there is a dedicated manpower to work. These are all unfriendly conditions. These services people will be working, where in the deserts, on the sea, where once together we have to travel, and aircraft, we have to hours together, we have to fly. And while flying, you have to work, you have to troubleshoot. All these things requires dedication and attachment to the system and service to the nation. That is a thing, is a basic requirement of MSMEs. Hope you understood what is required. Okay. Coming to now, what is Government of India is giving us opportunities. Now I'll just explain briefly. There are existing for startup companies and MSMEs and women entrepreneurs. We have different categories. Make in India, we have 3 categories: Make 1, Make 2, Make 3, and there is another MSME and IDEX, DISC, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and offset procurement. Next slide. In the make one, this is actually high costed item. This is a government funds this, and it is more than 70% prototype model cost will be given, and it will be under Ministry of Defense supervision. It will be done, and the money will be given in the phased manner, and different conditions are there. We have to follow that. The best suited is make two for us. Make two is the industry funded, where we will be funding the systems. This is not only for systems, for subsystems like PCBs, modules, components, materials, everything. We have to offer to the vendor services so that they'll take from that. And make three is indigenously manufactured by IM. This is a very interesting thing where you can have your innovative ideas to produce your systems, or you can have a TOT from the with collaboration with the any foreign OEM also. For that, government had given some concessions and some provisions and some restrictions on that. So according to that, we have to go by make three. These are the things. And for the innovative things, we have innovation for defense excellence. It's called IDX. For that, they have made two founder members in defense public sectors undertakings. One is HAL and another BEL. We have the MSMEs can have a collaboration with these two DPSUs to produce their systems, and where we have, by our understanding, which must be able to give them the TOT, or you must be able to do the produce the systems and supply. Okay, so what are the opportunities we have? So these MSMEs are connected with the non-defense sectors also, like, and they are allowed to work with the DPSUs and DRDO labs, and we have the public sector where I work at BEL or DRDO. We have some mandatory conditions that MSMEs should be educated about the relaxations and procurement process. We have a vendor development classes where each organization will call the vendors and explain them what are the benefits, what are the relaxations are given to them, and what is the future of their company growth, and where the vendors, how much they are expecting from the vendors, and what are the technological changes. All these things will be explained to the MSMEs. If required, training will be given on the particular field to get the best from the MSMEs. And another very interesting thing is they are establishing common test facilities for the MSMEs, where, like I was explaining about the thermal chambers, thermal control chambers, like these are all costly items, vibration machine, and temperature, high altitude chambers. These are all high cost items where the MSMEs may not be having a facility, money to do that. For this, we have a common facilities being established by government, and all these public sectors are requested or ordered by government to extend their facility to the MSMEs, where on relaxation with time wise and money wise also. Okay. And when it comes to indigenization, government is very friendly, and they are looking for the replacements for the imported items, and where they have the maintenance, and not only supply of items, it's a supply of services also that is required. Okay. So on date, there are 19,509 defense items are there, and which are imported earlier, and is available in the portal. So far, 4,000 items are only done by the MSMEs, and still other things can be taken of the MSMEs to get them. And the transfer of technology category, we have military technologies where armed forces will be giving us the technology and we will be doing. And category B, where we have a dual use, one commercial technologies and other is our services sector. Maybe positive time, I'm going fast. This where suppose you have a meeting of cell phones where again I'm telling the bombs detonated by these cell phones, operated by cell phones, can be used by the military for the landmine search, and can be used by the other people like putting in the temples or putting in the jails or anywhere. They can be commercial also, they can use with prior permission of the required authorities. For that also we have that's called a dual use, where we can have a commercial technologies this thing and services also that can be done. So offset procurement, again these is different avenues are there to follow this, and offset is done by again buy and make with transfer of technology or buy global. All these things are available for MSMEs. There are empty number of opportunities where we can explore ourselves and do the best possible. Okay. So again, benefit extended to the PSUs by defense labs. High preference is given to the encourage MSMEs by all DPSUs. MSMEs are being educated and encouraged in new technologies under vendor development programs. Manufacturing facilities are being extended to MSME, where you have a different types of manufacturing assemblies like surface mounted devices. All these things are extended by the DPSUs, and in-house test specialists are extended to MSMEs with concessional rates, and government-owned test specialists are also extended to MSME. And another very, very important thing is, in the any purchase procedure of the DPSUs, we have 20% items cost-wise, items-wise also to be procured from the MSMEs only. It's a mandatory, is a government rule. And another 20% for the SCST. All these things are given there, and it's being strictly followed by the government. These are the opportunities we have. Let us go and use the opportunities and make the things happen for the India. Okay, that is the thing from my side. Any questions there?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. See, there is a question that it is mainly the scientific side or the technical side only.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there opportunity in the non-technical side also?
Yes, ma'am, that is there. I'm just talked of about DPSUs only. Yeah, the technical means everything is a technical. Maybe we don't say defense, but it's a technical only. Like I said, a cover on the antenna which protects the antenna from the rain. It's not a technical. Actually, it's a cover, but it must be able to transmit the radio signals. That is there. And we have a traffic signals which are operated, and I mean well-made items I'm talking, madam. That the traffic signals and all these things are, I mean, for everything we call it a technical, but it's not the completely service, military services.
Okay, I just want to say something here, if you don't mind.
Actually, the question what she was asking, sir, as we had discussed also, she's written that we can borrow technology from them and then start manufacturing.
Yeah, like, I want to say something here.
Yes, Sandhya ma'am, please.
Okay. Sir, do you mind, sir, if I say something?
Please, ma'am, explain. Yeah.
Here there are two aspects of it in the defense. One is that, you know, we produce, manufacture and supply to defense and the PSUs. There's one more aspect over here which, you know, we can have a technology transfer.
TOT, yeah.
Yeah, TOT, which is also, is a commercial product which, all the DRDO labs have developed those. And these are all the non-commercial and very, very, good ones. So one is a good example is Namita, our member, who is into bio, this is called bio toilets.
Yeah.
So it's been actually technology transfer, she's got it from the DRDO labs. And as such, there are many such projects which you can take it up from DRDO. This one is on the website, which we will definitely pass it on that website. And there are a lot of projects which you can choose. And then according to your, project, the marketing abilities that you have, you can select out of it and then go for it.
Yes, ma'am, I'll add one more point. We have now DRDO is introducing one more system is getting from the humidity of the environment, we are getting water producing, where the seashores we will not have a drinking water. So they are making some systems where they absorb the humidity from the air and produce the potable water. That is also another thing we are doing. Such things are there. It's a commercial again.
Yes, sir. Another thing, I think one more item was there, which is in the high altitude of fruit, where the juices were being made. That technology is also been developed by defense only and given to other non-technical people, and they have started making those juices.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there are several of them on the website. Whichever you want to select, you can select those. Projects.
So basically, it is when we hear about the defense projects and all, the question comes to the mind: is it too technical? So it is not actually. It is what you need is an entrepreneurship frame of mind, and the technology transfer can be taken. We can opt for that option also and start manufacturing.
That's what my presence here is for that only. What Sanjay Reddy madam told me.
Yes, sir.
I've seen people which they come and say, some mind block, whether it's a defense organization, how we can